Guys, when we talk about mutation, it is basically a sudden discontinuous change. मतलब जैसा होता था कोई पर्टिकुलर जीनोटाइप, अब वो वैसा नहीं है. इट हैज बीन सडनली चेंज्ड. चेंज के बदले आई कैन यूज द वर्ड वेरिएशन. So when there is a sudden discontinuous variation, it is said to be mutation. Okay, definition wise, it is sudden discontinuous variation in genotype. अब अगर children genetic level पे you find change, won't the expression will also be altered? As in, can I say it is not only the genotype but also the phenotype that is going to change? So genotype and phenotype of an organism due to change in chromosome and gene. Okay. So basically there would be change in the DNA sequence, alteration in the DNA sequence. You will have multiple different types of mutation. I'll discuss two of them, not in great detail, but how much ever is required for KVPY, we'll do that much only. So guys, there could be something called gene mutation and something called chromosomal aberration. I'll just discuss two of them. First one, that is gene mutation. Yes, Prathamesh, it's quite a random process. Yeah, at times we can also induce mutation. So we use something called mutagens for that, for inducing mutation. So we are going to talk about two mutations in detail. One that is said to be gene mutation. Two that is called chromosomal aberration. Now, what do you mean by gene mutation? Where is gene located, children? Gene is located on the DNA. So if there is any change or alteration in the DNA sequence, can I say gene mutation ho jayega? Yes. So the description comes up over here for gene mutation. Alteration of DNA due to change in nucleotide sequence. Now, for example, you may have the following different types of changes. The first one wherein supposedly you have a sequence. That sequence goes like AATT, ACGAC. Everybody knows this. These are the nitrogenous bases. This is the original sequence. Okay. Now supposedly, one second. Yeah. Now supposedly, if you have a particular deletion, a particular nucleotide getting deleted. So what would be my sequence? For example, supposedly, this particular sequence gets deleted. This thymine gets deleted. What will I be left with? I'll be left with AAT, ACG, AC. Am I right? Yes. This is what is said to be deletion. So initially, if you see that total number of nucleotides were how many? The total number of nucleotides were 9. Due to deletion, it has turned out to be 8. अगर सीक्वेंस में चेंज हो चुका है, जो कि हुआ भी है, जो 2 T आता था वो नहीं आया है, उसके बदले we just have 1 T, definitely the expression will also change. Okay, so I'll mention over here, this is the original sequence. One second. This is the original sequence. And this one is after mutation. Okay. Let's take up one more example here. जैसे deletion किया वैसे हम करेंगे addition. What would happen in addition, children? We will add a nucleotide. ठीक है? So again, let's have a look. So this is my sequence AA, TT, ACG, AC. This is the original one, made up of 9 nucleotides, as you all can see. Now it's AA, TT, AC, GC, AC. Can you see? I have added a nucleotide here. An extra C has come into picture. Yes, which makes it totally 10 nucleotides. So again, the sequence has changed. If the sequence changes, definitely the product formation will also be changed. Okay? We'll take up one more example here. The third one, that is called substitution. What do you mean by substituting something? Replacing it. Now, if you're replacing it, you have two different types of nucleotides. You have purines and you have pyrimidine. You can replace purine with a purine, or you can replace pyrimidine with a pyrimidine, or you can replace purine with a pyrimidine and vice versa. Am I right? Replacement या substitution कैसे भी हो सकता है ना? So my third variety of gene mutation, that is substitution, can be of two types. It itself can be of two types. One that is called transition, and the other one that is called transversion. What happens in transition? Transition में you're replacing a purine by a purine or a pyrimidine by a pyrimidine. But when I talk about transversion, it's purine getting replaced or pyrimidine getting replaced by the other one. Understood the difference between both of them, children? Transition and transversion का फर्क समझा सबको? Kindly respond. Perfect. So this was all of your gene mutation. I hope this much is clear. And now I'll be talking about chromosomal aberration. Now, what do we understand by chromosomal aberration? It's pretty simple. Shall we start? Children, chromosomal aberration, like I said, gene mutation क्या है? अपन ने gene DNA का sequence change कर दिया. Chromosomal aberration, the entire chromosome is something which we are going to have a look over. If in case you lose an arm of chromosome or a segment of chromosome, or maybe you gain a segment of chromosome, तो क्या chromosome पहले जैसा दिखेगा? मतलब हो गया एक sudden change, एक kind of mutation. So chromosomal aberration is basically, one second guys, one second children. All right, let's start. Chromosomal aberration, as I was talking about the definition, chromosomal aberration is basically loss or gain of a segment of DNA resulting in alteration in chromosome. This is what is your chromosomal aberration. Isme we have subtypes like the first one we discuss over here. The first one, that is deletion. Now tell me, what would be deletion? Deletion of a particular segment of your chromosome. Okay? Like for example, if this is your chromosome, children, if this is your chromosome, here we have genes like gene A, B, and C. This is D, E, and F. These are the genes present. If somehow, children, any of the segment is getting deleted, any of the region is getting deleted, what would you be left with? You would be left with, check. You do have A, you do have segment A, B, and C, but just D and E present over here. Who got lost? F is no more. Ho gaya deletion, right? Likewise, we have one more example, the second example, that is duplication. Now, as the name says, probably तुम लोगों को समझ ही गया होगा duplication क्या चीज है यहाँ पे. What's happening over here is, this is your chromosome, and this chromosome has the genes, I'll write it inside. It has the genes A, B, C, and here we have D, E, F. These are the genes which are present. Duplication हो रहा है. Check what is exactly happening here. You have the gene A, B, C present. You have the gene D, E, F, E, F. Could we understand what has happened? Can we make out that EF का double copy आ चुका है इधर? This is what is your duplication. Okay. Then the third case of chromosomal aberration, that is said to be translocation. Now, children, इसका understanding थोड़ा ज़्यादा अच्छा चाहिए, so please focus कीजिएगा यहाँ पे. I'm writing it over here. Supposedly this is my 22nd chromosome, and this is my 9th chromosome. 9th. What's going to happen is, children, some segment of your 22nd chromosome is going to join with 9, and 9 ka some segment will join with 22. Hasn't the gene ka location changed? अभी बात समझ गया क्यों? Why is it called as translocation? So how does it going to look like? Supposedly, this is my 22nd chromosome. The yellow portion comes over here, and instead, whatever, either blue chala gaya. This is my 22nd chromosome, and this is the 9th one. Hey Moksh, it's quite random. I've randomly selected 22 and 9. ऐसा कुछ जरूरी नहीं है कि बैक टू बैक वाले क्रोमोसोम्स ही आएंगे like one के बाद two. It's a random process. As we said, mutation is quite sudden and random. Any duplication is possible, Atharva. Any duplication. Those are the types of naturally existing normal chromosomes, Devanshi. And yes, अगर deletion होता है So you may have some acrocentric converting into meta or whatever, telocentric, किसी में भी interconversions देख सकते हैं, but those are not natural. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That much is what is required for chromosomal aberration. Understood, everyone? This was the part of mutation that we had to do. Purine and pyrimidine, Prathamesh. Children, the pu and pi I have mentioned over here is purine and pyrimidine. It can happen, Priyansh, anytime. Nothing fixed. It will happen this time only or that time only. It can happen anytime. Siddhi, nucleotide sequence is the sequence with the help of which your DNA is made. It is the basic unit of a DNA or even an RNA. Yes, Moksha, one of the reasons for evolution you can say is this, but this is not the only one. Swarangi, we have already done it in detail in previous lectures. As of now, you can just remember purines and pyrimidines are the nitrogenous bases. All right, I hope everybody has taken the screenshot or maybe whatever, written it. So with this, guys, we have completed the chapter principles of. We have done that, beta. We have done that. Yeah, so we have completed the chapter principles of inheritance and variation, children. If you want, you may just go through the NCERT copy. In this chapter, we started with Mendel's experiment. What all things he had performed, why did he select P, what was the Punnett square method, all these things were done in detail. We spoke about all the crosses, monohybrid, dihybrid. We spoke about all the laws, right? We also tried to understand what is incomplete dominance, wherein the red is not able to mask white, and hence the flower color, what we could see was pink. We also spoke about codominance, wherein we have alleles like IA, IB, both of them getting reflected, and the blood group turns out to be AB. We spoke about this dihybrid cross, law of independent assortment. Then we started with chromosomal theory of inheritance, the one which was given by Sutton and Boveri. We spoke about this Drosophila ke upar linkage wala experiment. I guess this was the one which was done in the last lecture, or maybe last to the last lecture. We spoke about pleiotropy, polygenic inheritance, sex determination also. Sex determination in humans, insects, all these things were done. Mutation we just did. And we also spoke about the genetic disorders. I told you all to learn these symbols, the ones which can be asked in your exam. And then we spoke about this sickle cell anemia, the chromosomal disorders. We spoke about Downs, Klinefelter, Turner's. Yes. And we could complete the entire chapter. All right. Now in today's lecture, we'll be starting with our next chapter. I'm putting it as slide number 1. The chapter's name is Cell. Cell, the unit of life. Okay. Prathamesh, we have done it, but KVPY it has not been done, beta. All right. So let's start with this chapter, Cell, the Unit of Life. It's pretty interesting, and most of the things you would understand very easily because you have studied it. Yes. So medical students, तुम लोग ने जितना ये चैप्टर पढ़ा है अभी रिसेंटली इनफैक्ट इन द ऑनगोइंग लेक्चर्स उतना तो कवर नहीं हो पाएगा आज के लेक्चर में. You all can definitely take an exit. Sit study for the upcoming test on this Sunday. All medical students can leave, no problem at all. Engineering kids, please stay back. चलिए. Riza, for doing that chapter, we need to understand cell first. Yes, Prathamesh, I just said that. Chaliye. So guys, we all understand the initial definition which we have been studying in our lower standard. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. All organisms are composed of cell. Yeah. My first point over here. Cell is basic, structural, and functional unit of life. All organisms are composed of cells. Now guys, we have two different type of organisms existing on this earth depending on the number of cells they have in their body. Like the first one, the one which contains only one cell, it is said to be unicellular. Multiple cells hai, so the organism is said to be multicellular. When I say unicellular organism, children, all the activities, maybe it's producing energy or maybe producing food or any single activity is exhibited by this one cell. On the other hand, multicellular organism is the one which would show something called division of labor, right? So unicellular organism, essential activities, performed by one cell. Multicellular organism shows division of labor. ठीक है? Now guys, there are certain scientists का नाम which we need to know and understand. We'll have to remember them. Again, whichever names have been mentioned in NCERT, उतना ही हम लोग को पढ़ना है. So please have a look. Anton von Leeuwenhoek was the one who first saw and described a live cell. Robert Brown was the one who discovered nucleus. ये दो नाम तुमको यहाँ पे याद रखने हैं. इसके अलावा Robert Hooke was the one who had seen dead cell. You have heard of something called cork. The dead cell, the outer portion of the plant, right? So certain milestones. Milestones which we need to remember. First one, Anton von Leeuwenhoek. He was the one who had first seen and described cell. Secondly, Robert Brown. He was the one who had discovered nucleus. Thirdly, Robert Hooke. He was the one who had seen dead cell, that is cork. इसके अलावा we had some botanist and some zoologist. Like we have the first person, a botanist called Schleiden. Guys, Schleiden was the one who had observed plants very carefully. And he was the one who told us that plants are made up of different type of cells which perform similar function. And he named it as tissue also. He called it as tissue. Observed plants. And explained plants are made up of different cells forming tissue. इसके बाद there was a zoologist called Schwann. Schwann was a zoologist, so he was the one who had studied animal cells in great detail. Also, he told that the plasma membrane is something which is seen in both plant and animal, but cell wall is something which is unique to plant cell. So he studied animal cells. He reported plasma membrane and told cell wall is unique to plants. This was his contribution. Then one more guy called Rudolf Virchow. Guys, he was the one who told that every cell, whichever is present, arises from the pre-existing cell. So he told us all cells arise from pre-existing cell. That is omnis cellula a cellulae, which means all cells arise from pre-existing cell. Okay? Can I proceed to the next slide? All right. Gargi, are you writing it simultaneously? Isn't it okay for you to take the screenshot later on? Thank you. Okay. Now let's talk about something called cell theory. Children, this cell theory was proposed by George Leiden and Schwann, both of them. They also took inputs from other scientists. So what does this cell theory say? It says that firstly, all living organisms are composed of cells. And products of cell. Now children, what do you mean by products of cell? You know, cell forms proteins, and that protein is going to form multiple components of your cell. So हम लोग बोल सकते हैं that all living organisms are composed of cell and products of cell. Secondly, the thing which Rudolf Virchow had told us, all cells arise from pre-existing cell. Okay. So that was your cell theory. And now we'll be proceeding towards the overview of a eukaryotic cell. We are now going to discuss overview of cell. I'm restricting myself right now over your eukaryotic cell, and then at the end we'll talk about prokaryotic. Chali. Now guys, size of a cell is not fixed. Size or shape, both of them are not fixed. You may have variety of sizes, you may have variety of shapes of the cell. I'll first talk about the size. So guys, size is something which varies greatly. It's not fixed. For example, the largest cell, any idea? Largest cell kiska hai? You should know about it, by the way. Right? Perfect. It is ostrich's egg. Okay. वैसे ही children, the longest cell, right? It's a nerve cell. Perfect. You will have to remember some data, like for example, human RBC, children. Human RBC has a diameter of 7 micrometer. You will have to remember it. Like I said about size, एक और बता रही हूँ मैं आपको. Though it is not a eukaryotic cell, but still you will have to remember prokaryote में भी आएगा ये चीज. There is an organism, it's a prokaryotic cell, that's mycoplasma. Bracket में लिख रही हूँ आपके लिए prokaryotic. This is the smallest cell whose length is 0.3 micrometer. Okay. Now let's talk about shape. As I said, size differ करता है, vary करता है, वैसे shapes भी बहुत ज़्यादा vary करेंगे. You will find some of them, some cells having disc shaped structure, some being polygonal, some being columnar, cuboidal. Some could be just irregular. कोई भी shape possible. ठीक है? Have a look at this diagram. They may question you all like this, children. As match the column दे सकते हैं. Column 1 में RBC, WBC, columnar epithelial cell, nerve cell, trachea, mesophyll cell सब लिखा होगा. And column B में उनका shape रहेगा. और column 1 में नाम रहेगा cells का, column B में diagrams रहेंगे. और column 1, column 2 and column 3 तीनों का match. Column 1 में names, column 2 में different shapes जो इन लोगों ने लिखित रखा है यहाँ पे, and column 3 में diagram. ऐसा भी question frame किया जा सकता है. ठीक है? So this particular diagram is really very important. Okay. Let's move ahead. Let's proceed towards our slide number 3. And here I'll be talking about eukaryotic cell in detail. We'll be understanding what is the wall made up of, what is the membrane made up of. Starting with membrane first. As in, my first topic is plasma membrane. Also called cell membrane. Also called plasma lemma. Three names to the same thing, children. So guys, firstly, I can say location wise, plasma membrane is the one which surrounds cytoplasm. Atharva, will you wait? At the end of the lecture, we'll do this. Nextly, composition. What is the cell membrane, plasma membrane made up of? 1 second, guys. Now, children, after this, I'll request you all, please ensure that you just take the screenshot. It takes a lot of time if you all sit and write. Priyansh, can you hear me? Yes. So I was talking about the composition, the plasma membrane composition. It is made up of phospholipid. Along with that, it has some amount of protein present, and also it shows carbohydrates. Okay. Now the thing is, children, it's not fixed that every cell would show same amount of protein, same amount of lipid. The ratio is going to vary. So that's my next point here, and a very important one. Ratio of protein and lipid varies. So I'll take up two examples, two cell ka example here, children. There's this RBC, and the second one, that's a neuron, myelinated neuron. I'll discuss about the protein content. I'm writing it as PROT, and the lipid content. So children, the protein content in RBC is 52% and the lipid component is 40%. On the other hand, protein in myelinated neuron is just 20% and lipid is 80%. Okay, this is a very important question. All right. Now let me discuss about the phospholipid. What is this phospholipid component that I have spoken about? So guys, phospholipid, lipid का जो structure होता है, it is somewhat like this. It shows a head region and followed by that, it shows a tail region. So this is the head region. This is said to be a phosphate head. It is associated with phosphate group. There would be other components also, अथर्व. तो देख रहे हैं कार्बोहाइड्रेट भी लिखा है मैंने कहीं पे, and कुछ minerals भी present रहता है. Yeah, so this is the phosphate head region, which is also called polar head. And this one is the tail, the lipid tail, also called the non-polar region or the non-polar tail. Children, ये जो phosphate head है या polar head है, it is the one which has affinity towards water. And if it shows affinity towards water, we call this compound, we call this such structure as hydrophilic. Hydro is water and philic is having affinity. On the other hand, the tail does not like water. We call it very nice, hydrophobic. Okay? So this is how your phospholipid is going to appear, the phospholipid molecule. On the other hand, now if I talk about the entire membrane, how does it look like? So please have a look over here. The entire membrane would be made up of such kind of phospholipid heads, associated close, having such tails. Yes, you are right. There are two layers of lipid, and that is the reason why we call them as lipid bilayer. This entire structure is your lipid bilayer. Okay? You know what is the head part and what is the tail part. And you also understand what is hydrophilic and what is hydrophobic. So when your cell membrane is made, the cell membrane is entirely consisting of such bilayer. Now, after phospholipid, I'll be talking about the types of protein here. So children, types of protein, we have two different types of protein present in the cell membrane. The first one, that is called extrinsic. The second one, that's called intrinsic. Okay. अब guys, अगर तुम लोग को ये रीजन पे कुछ प्रोटीन मिलता है जो बाहर के साइड में प्रेजेंट है या थोड़ा सा हेड के साइड में, अंदर के साइड में भी प्रेजेंट है, Can I call it as an externally placed or peripherally placed protein? This is what is your extrinsic protein. Even this is your extrinsic protein, which is present superficially. On the other hand, if you find a particular protein molecule, which is right over here inside, I'll draw it with some other color. Yes, if you find a protein right over here, which is spanning across the lipid bilayer, this is what is said to be the intrinsic protein. I hope you all have understood this. Vibhushita, that is the one which would contain more amount of fat or more amount of lipid. Okay? So I said intrinsic protein is the one which is going to span across the membrane. Extrinsic is the one which is going to be present superficially. What do you think? ये दोनों प्रोटीन में से किसका extraction would be easier? Right? Extrinsic, just because it is present peripherally, right? So my first point under this extrinsic protein, it is present superficially, and this one is embedded partially or totally in lipid bilayer. Therefore, just because it is present superficially, it can be quite easily extracted. You may have easy extraction. And here, just because it is partially or deeply embedded inside, it is difficult to extract. Okay. Now, after phospholipid and protein, I would like to talk about the carbohydrate present here. Carbohydrate, ज़्यादा नहीं पढ़ने का इसके बारे में. Carbohydrate, just two examples I'll mention. I'll write over here only. The carbohydrate which is present could be glycolipid and glycoprotein. ठीक है? This entire understanding of how does your cell membrane look like, what are the different components of this cell membrane, this entire thing was given to us by somebody called Singer and Nicholson. I don't know तुम लोगों ने नाम सुना है कि नहीं उनका कभी. This entire information was given by Singer and Nicholson. They had proposed this model that's called fluid mosaic model. Okay. ठीक है. Now children, this fluid mosaic model में नाम आया fluids. Your lipid portion or the phospholipid portion is the one which provides the fluidity required by the membrane. So I'll mention over here, provides fluidity to plasma membrane. Also, it is the one, अगर children tell me one thing, अगर cell membrane rigid होता तो अमीबा pseudopodia दिखा सकती थी क्या? Animal cell में furrow formation हो सकता था क्या during cell division? You all have studied this in lower standard, children. You will have to reply on this. So I can say that the fluid nature helps in cell growth. It helps in endocytosis. Endocytosis matlab engulfing a solid material inside the cell. It helps in cell division. Okay. Also children, you will have some amount of cholesterol present. ऐसा नहीं कि पूरा lipid जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा fluidity provide करेगा. Cholesterol is present. That cholesterol is going to impart a bit of rigidity which is seen, जिसकी वजह से structure काफी stable रहेगा. So cholesterol gives rigidity. Therefore, makes the structure stable. ठीक है? That was all about your cell membrane, children. Shall I proceed towards the next slide? Okay. Now let's talk about the function of cell membrane. We spoke about the structural aspect. Children, function of cell membrane में, the major function is transport. Now transport can be seen via multiple ways. Like the first one we will be talking about is diffusion. Second, osmosis. Active transport. And fourthly, bulk transport. Let's talk about the first one, that is diffusion. So guys, we all understand what is diffusion, right? बहुत थर्ड क्लास का एक एग्जांपल होता है डिफ्यूजन एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए, that if I spray a particular perfume in one corner of a room, in the other corner also you will get the fragrance. Why? Because the particles of the perfume have started spreading from the region of their dash concentration to the region of their dash concentration. Please tell me. High to low, low to high. Perfect. Very nice. So I can define this diffusion as movement of ions or molecules from region of their higher concentration to region of their lower concentration. ठीक है? अच्छा, क्या ये मूवमेंट हमेशा के लिए होता ही रहेगा क्या? Sorry. Is it that the movement would be seen forever and ever and ever? कभी ना कभी तो movement stop होएगा. When will the movement be stopped? Right, at equilibrium. Perfect. ठीक है? अच्छा, do you require any kind of external source of energy for the same? For diffusion to occur? मतलब, I can say it is quite a passive process. No energy required. Energy का input का जरूरत नहीं है. अगर energy का input का जरूरत होता, we would have called it as active transport. It's a passive process. अच्छा, Now, children, tell me how many of you all have ever traveled by train? Of course, not in past 2 years. उससे पहले? Yeah. So we have in Mumbai, we have these specific stations, railway stations like Dadar or Kurla, Andheri also at times, which are specifically during the peak hours, which are overcrowded. The stations are also overcrowded and train is forever overcrowded. Now, supposedly, you are traveling in a train and you want to get down at Dadar railway station from anywhere, from wherever you are coming. तुम लोगों को कुछ नहीं करना है, कोई मेहनत नहीं करनी है. तुम लोग को बस जाके जो कॉरिडोर है वहां पे खड़े हो जाना है. हाँ, इंश्योर कि पोल के सामने खड़े नहीं रहो, लेफ्ट या राइट में खड़े रहो. तुम लोग को कोई लाइफ में एफर्ट नहीं पुट करना है. यू आर जस्ट सपोज टू गो एंड स्टैंड. दादर स्टेशन आएगा, प्लेटफॉर्म आ जाएगा एंड तुम लोग ट्रेन से उतरोगे नहीं, तुम ट्रेन से उतारे जाओगे. आई एम श्योर सबके साथ हुआ रहेगा, whoever has traveled by train. कुछ नहीं करना है, अपने आप अपन उतर जाएंगे. जस्ट कहीं पे ब्लॉकेज की जगह पे खड़े नहीं रहना है. राइट? व्हाट हैपेंड? Diffusion happened. Yes. More concentrated region was the train, less concentrated is the platform, and people diffused from the train to the platform by exerting a pressure on each other, due to which diffusion occurred. Such kind of pressure can be termed as diffusion pressure. Agreed and understood? Nice. So, diffusion pressure, that is dP, is the pressure exerted by diffusing particles on each other. अच्छा, tell me, is diffusion pressure की वजह से diffusion या diffusion की वजह से diffusion pressure? Tell me. Guys, I can say, therefore, diffusion is a result of pressure. Result of diffusion pressure. Right? Any doubt regarding it? No, Pakka? So everybody understood that diffusion pressure की वजह से diffusion हुआ है ना? Now let's talk about another kind of diffusion, though I've not mentioned it over here, but we'll study. That is called facilitated diffusion. Basically, you are providing a kind of facility for the diffusion to occur. अब जैसे कि तुम लोग ने परफ्यूम स्प्रे किया था, तुमने कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं प्रोवाइड की. अब supposedly a particular organ or a structure, any molecule wants to pass through this particular cell membrane, कोई फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड करनी पड़ेगी ना. Specifically, when you are sending some hydrophilic compound, मतलब water loving compound will not like this head region. Chal, head region को it will like, but will not cross through the tail region. Am I right? Because tail is specifically, I've mentioned, hydrophobic. तो हम लोग क्या करना पड़ेगा, कुछ प्रोटीन्स यूज करने पड़ेंगे जिसके थ्रू अपना मॉलिक्यूल का ट्रांसपोर्ट हो जाएगा. So you're providing a facility for diffusion to occur. My first point here occurs with help of protein. Now we have two different types of protein involved here. The first one, that's called channel protein, and the second one, That's called carrier protein. This is your cell membrane, guys. This is your cell membrane, the lipid bilayer. And here you have a channel protein present, somewhat like this. If you can see, बहुत छोटा सा स्पेस है इसमें से क्रॉस करने के लिए, है ना? बहुत ज्यादा स्पेस नहीं है। इसका मतलब ये होता है कि नॉट एवरी मॉलिक्यूल कैन क्रॉस थ्रू इट. ओनली दोज मॉलिक्यूल्स वुड बी एबल टू पास थ्रू इट हु कैन go via this much space. All right. So this is your fixed channel protein. It does not change the shape. Also, there would be some amount of water present here. So we call it as a water-filled channel protein or water-filled region with fixed shape. My first point here. Over here. Water-filled channel with fixed shape. Shape is highly specific to the molecules or the ions which pass through it. To specific ion or molecule. And it's going to be two-way. Out to in भी जा सकता है, in to out भी जा सकता है. So it's basically a two-way channel protein. Let's talk about carrier protein now. Again, guys, here's our plasma membrane or the cell membrane. And I have a particular kind of structure and here is a molecule which wants to pass through this. Have a look at the molecule, have a look at the size. Is it possible for this molecule to cross through this V-shaped channel? Is it possible? No, definitely not. इसका मतलब ये कि ये जो channel है, ये जो carrier है, now not the channel, because it can change the shape. It is going to change the shape and it is going to appear somewhat like this to us. क्या हुआ? उसने check किया whether the molecule which is trying to enter inside is suitable for the cell or it is not suitable for the cell. It should be allowed or not allowed inside the cell and accordingly check करके उसने अंदर उसको throw कर दिया. मतलब पहले वो ऐसा था, उसके बाद में it changed its shape after identifying that this yellow molecule which wants to enter in is quite safe and good as nutrient value or some other value to the cell and let's allow it inside. So basically it has changed the shape from this to this. Understood? Understood? Now please answer my query. Is the shape fixed? My first question. Very nice. No fixed shape. Has the shape being modified for entry or exit? Was it modified? You think कोई भी तुम दरवाजा खोलते हो घर का, क्या वो दरवाजा बिना तुम्हारा एनर्जी खर्चे खुल सकता है, बंद हो सकता है? तुम्हारे बॉडी का एनर्जी यूज करना पड़ेगा ना उसके लिए. मतलब डेफिनेटली दिस वन इज एन एक्टिव वन. It requires ATP. Agreed? Yes? Nice. So everybody has understood what is diffusion and what is facilitated diffusion. Shall I proceed towards my next slide, children? Yes, beta, channel is passive. वो हमेशा ओपन रहेगा लेकिन वो एक स्पेसिफिक मॉलिक्यूल जो ये साइज में फिट हो सकता है उसी का एंट्री या एग्जिट अलाउ करेगा. Two ways, Prajna. Even carrier is two way. It can interchange the shape. इनफैक्ट हम लोग इसको बोलते हैं, only for your information, we say that it is existing in two forms. It's said to be ping pong. Ping when it is open outwards, pong when it is open inwards. Yes, विभूषिता, दोनों प्रोटीन है ना, तुम्हारे बॉडी का प्रोटीन बहुत स्मार्ट होता है, वो सब कुछ जज कर सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तुम लोग जब खाना खाते हो कि तो अमाइलेज एन एंजाइम विच इज अ प्रोटीन ओनली विल अंडरस्टैंड कौन स्टार्च है, उसी को डाइजेस्ट करो. फैट को डाइजेस्ट करने वाला स्पेसिफिक एंजाइम इज लाइपेज, प्रोटीन के लिए प्रोटीएज. एंड यू नो दैट ऑल एंजाइम्स आर केमिकली प्रोटीन. You also know, your cell also knows, like hemoglobin is one protein present. It also understands कि कौन ऑक्सीजन है, किसको लंग्स में छोड़ना है और किसको सेल के अंदर लेके जाना है. So every protein is highly specific. They do understand what is their function. ठीक है जी. चलिए, let's move on towards our next slide, slide number 5. And here I'll be discussing something called osmosis. Before I discuss osmosis, I have a doubt. Please make me understand this. If I have the solution A, which has 100 ml of water and 100 grams of salt, is it highly concentrated or it is less concentrated? Some of them are saying less, some of them are saying highly concentrated, some are saying equal. अच्छा, नहीं बेटा, ना ये equal है, ना ये highly concentrated है, ना ये less concentrated है. कोई भी solution को देख के तुम लोग नहीं बता सकते unless and until you have another solution to compare with. So here comes my solution B. Right, Soumya and Mihir and Vibhushita. This is my solution B. I've added the same 100 ml of water. And now I'm adding 500 grams of solute, like salt. अब मेरे को बताओ कौन ज्यादा concentrated, कौन कम concentrated. So children, ज्यादा and कम या high और low के लिए we have another term which you have studied, that is called hypotonic and hypertonic. Heard of it before? Heard of it before? Please tell me yes or no. Yeah. So hypotonic, for your reference, is less in concentration. Hypertonic is more in concentration. ठीक है, तो ये तो रही बात solution की. Now let's come to osmosis. Valerie, when we talk about cell, your statement is true. Here I'm talking about two different solutions. For that, so children, I have a beaker here, which is separated by something called SPM. SPM stands for selectively permeable membrane. मैं आगे लिखूंगी इसका full form. This SPM, that is selectively permeable membrane, differentiates two solution over here. दोनों साइड में अपने पास 1 लीटर यानी कि 1000 ml वाटर है. एंड साथ में है over here 100 grams of solute and over here 500 grams of solute. You know what is hypo and what is hyper. The same thing holds true. मैंने A को ही hypo रखा है इधर भी और B को hyper रखा है इधर. Am I right? All right. So I have these two solutions separated by selectively permeable membrane. Now we all understand that selectively permeable membrane is a membrane which is going to allow transport of solvent only. किसका transport allow करेगा वो? Solvent का. अब the question arises, why only solvent? Because कोई भी membrane में pores होता है और वो pore size is going to allow transport of solvent and not of solute. My question to you all is, after separating them by SPM, from where to where will you find the movement of solvent? Will you find it from A to B or B to A? Can we put it A to B or B to A, Priyansh? A to B. Very good. It's going to happen A to B only, children, because over here you have more amount of solute. Here you have the less amount of solute. Matlab this concentration is hypo and this concentration is hyper. And water always flows from its high concentration to its low concentration, यानी कि hypo से hyper. ठीक है? So my definition for osmosis comes up here. Movement of solvent from its higher concentration, यानी कि less solute, to its lower concentration, यानी कि high solute, through selectively permeable membrane. Again, till equilibrium is achieved. Okay. So that was all about osmosis that we had to discuss. Please remember the definition. I can definitely say that osmosis is a type of diffusion. फर्क इतना है कि diffusion में there was no SPM, but यहाँ पे SPM is present. Selectively permeable membrane. This could be a cell membrane also, children. Now let's discuss the next mode of transport, which occurs via the membrane, the fourth one, that is active transport. Now children, active transport, as the name says, it is active, matlab definitely energy kharch karna padega. You will have the involvement of ATP. ATP is required. Nextly, when you use energy, when you use ATP, you can have transport in the ulta direction also. हम लोग ने हमेशा क्या बोला, हाई टू लो जा रहा है. जब तुम एनर्जी खर्च कर ही रहे हो तो मूवमेंट कैन बी फ्रॉम लो टू हाई ऑल्सो. ठीक है. एंड द एग्जाम्पल आर सोडियम potassium pumps, which are present, which are going to help in transport of sodium and potassium respectively. After this, the fifth one, that is bulk transport. So guys, bulk transport is basically taking something inside the cell in a lot of quantity or throwing out of the cell in a lot of quantity. It occurs in two ways. One, that is called endocytosis, when the quantity is taken inside, a lot of quantity mein things are taken inside. Or the second one, that is exocytosis, when you throw it out. Endocytosis is further classified into two subtypes. There is something called phagocytosis, and the second one that is called pinocytosis. Phagocytosis matlab basically children engulfing solid material. Pinocytosis matlab engulfing or taking in liquid material. Phagocytosis is cell eating. ये शायद तुम्हारे बुक में लिखा था बचपन में. Pinocytosis is cell drinking. ठीक है? I'll quickly explain how does phagocytosis happen. So supposedly this is your cell and this is the material which is present in bulk outside the cell. तो सबसे पहले cell उसको surround करेगा. The cell will try surrounding it. शुरुआत की है सराउंड करने की, इसके बाद में वो उसको ज्यादा कवरेज पे सराउंड करेगा. So the molecules are here and eventually the cell will completely surround it and all the molecules are going to come together inside. This is what is bulk transport and what I showed is specifically for endocytosis. इसका तुम रिवर्स करने को जाओ, from bottom to top exo हो जाएगा. You're right, Vibhushita. ठीक है? So that was all about osmosis and about cell membrane also. Active transport, bulk transport, सारा functions we have covered here. I'm now moving on towards the sixth one. नहीं मोक्ष ऐसा नहीं है, ये इसका स्पेसिफिक फीचर है. हाई टू लो तो कर ही सकता है सब ट्रांसपोर्ट, ये इसका स्पेशल फीचर है कि ये लो टू हाई भी कर सकता है. Yes, Prajna, we can call it. On the sixth slide, I'll now discuss about cell wall. Exclusive trait of plant. Fungi में भी दिखेगा cell wall, but अगर हम लोग plant और animal cell के बीच का बात करें, it is seen in plant cell. It is absent in animal cell. So I'll mention quickly, seen in plant and fungi. विभूषिता, I mentioned, बेटा आपका ध्यान नहीं था. आप रिवर्स जाओ ना, रिवर्स में एक्सो हो गया. यहाँ पे एनगल्फ हुआ, रिवर्स जाओगे तो वो बाहर थ्रो कर देगा. All right. Let's talk about the composition of cell wall. So guys, your cell wall is made up of something called microfibrils. Microfibril मतलब thread-like structure. ठीक है? So cell wall consists of microfibrils network in gel-like matrix. So what do I mean by this? Supposedly here we have a matrix, a gel-like matrix present. I'll draw it here. This is apna gel. This is our gel-like matrix. One second. ठीक है, अब ये जेल लाइक मैट्रिक्स के अंदर you will find very fine thread-like structure. This very fine thread-like structure is basically the microfibrils that I'm talking about. They are going to form any kind of network like this. And इसी से तुम लोग का पूरा plant का wall बना हुआ है. This is forming a crisscross network here. ठीक है? So the white structure that you see over here is the microfibril and this is the gel. Okay. Now what is this microfibril made up of? हम लोग ने क्या पढ़ा है बचपन से? Cell wall is made up of cellulose. पढ़ा है कि नहीं? Major component of cell wall is cellulose. ये जो fibril है ना, microfibril, it is cellulosic in nature. It is made up of cellulose majorly. मतलब ये इसका main component है. But other than that, you also have some amount of protein present in that thread-like structure. You also have some other polysaccharide. Now what I'm saying, what I mean by saying other polysaccharide, cellulose nahi होती, कुछ और. Other polysaccharides are also present. Likewise, what is this gel made up of? Gel is made up of protein, and it is also made up of some polysaccharides. I'll enlist what kind of polysaccharide is present. It shows pectin, it shows lignin, and it shows hemicellulose. Pectin, lignin, and hemicellulose. ये सब चीजें present है. Okay. अब क्या होता है कि प्लांट का जो वॉल है ना, लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल लीफ ले लो. लीफ के ऊपर यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड ऑफ समथिंग कॉल्ड क्यूटिकल बीइंग प्रेजेंट. पढ़ा सुना ऐसा कुछ? द वैक्सी कोटिंग. यस. सो ऑन सेल वॉल, cuticle along with certain minerals are present. Cuticle is made up of a wax called cutin wax. And what kind of minerals are present? You will find calcium carbonate or you may even find magnesium carbonate. ये सब चीजें भी वॉल पे प्रेजेंट रह सकती हैं. ठीक है. चलिए, let's proceed further. Now children, your cell wall, structurally if I see, ये तो हम लोग ने chemical composition का बात किया. अगर मैं cell wall का structure का बात करूं, you will find three regions of your cell wall. Yeah, those three regions are, I'll just enlist over here and I'll take you on to the next one. Next slide. Primary wall. Next is secondary wall. And the last one is middle lamina. Chaliye. On my 7th slide here, I'll quickly draw a diagram. What I'm drawing here is the cell, plant cell specifically, because I'm expressing over here the wall ka structure. So this is one cell, and ये उसके just बाजू में एक दूसरा cell भी present है. Okay. Yeah. Now children, the blue colored wall which I have drawn. Riza, I am sharing the screen. Children, can you all see the screen? Okay, beta. So the blue colored wall that I have drawn just now is the primary wall. What wall is it? Primary wall. Primary wall के अलावा, you may have a deposition of something called secondary wall. Not present in all cell, but yes, some cell will definitely show it. तो primary wall तुम लोग के cells में present है. उसके बाद में plant cell में जो next wall आएगा वो है secondary wall. So what I'm drawing next here is the secondary wall. Now the scene is कि जो secondary wall होता है ना, वो multi layered है. At least वो तुम लोग को 3 layers दिखाएगा. So this is my 3 layered secondary wall. इसमें the one which is closest to the primary wall, this is S1, उसके बाद वाला is S2 and सबसे अंदर वाला is S3. And फिर सबके अंदर कौन present है इधर? इधर तुम्हारा present रहेगा plasma membrane. 1 second. This is your plasma membrane, also called cell membrane. ठीक है? One more important feature to note over here, children, I'm just erasing off the plasma membrane because I don't want you all to focus on that here. We are just talking about the wall and its composition and the structure. Between the two cells, why did I draw two cells here? Between these two cells, you will find a cementing material present just between these two cells here. This cementing material which joins the adjacent cell, is said to be middle lamella. What is it called? It's called middle lamella. The one which is present between the adjacent cells, this is middle lamella. Okay. So let's write the description. We were talking about the structure of wall. We have the primary wall present. Then we have the secondary wall. And lastly, we have this middle lamella. Okay. So location wise, as we can say, see and say that primary wall is the one which is outermost. And secondary wall is inner to primary. And middle lamella, children, 1 degree is primary, 2 degrees secondary. Inner to your primary wall is your secondary wall, and between two cells you will find middle lamella present. So I'll write it like binds adjacent cells. Primary wall is comparatively quite thin as well as elastic. Secondary wall is comparatively thick and rigid. Your primary wall ka composition is same. What we mentioned over here, cellulose, hemicellulose, yehi sari cheezein present hai. I'll just mention here. It has cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. Same goes with this also. I'm not rewriting it. Now, one feature that you need to remember for your KVPY exam, primary wall eventually is going to diminish. हमेशा के लिए present नहीं रहेगा. That is a logic why we require the secondary wall. अगर primary wall हमेशा हमेशा के लिए रहता है सेल के आजू बाजू, तो secondary wall की जरूरत ही क्या थी? ये नहीं रह पाता है. It does get diminished. That is the reason why you have the secondary wall. So diminishes as cell matures. Here, secondary wall is not present in those cells whose function is fast cell division process. So we write it is absent in meristematic cell. Also, one more point here. We have certain layers of your secondary wall like S1, S2, and S3. Okay? Middle lamella. Middle lamella is made up of calcium and magnesium pectate. Also, children, have you all seen or observed any time that some fruits in their raw stage, मतलब not ripened stage, थोड़ा उससे पहले, like raw mango, it's crunchy, but when it gets ripened, it becomes like a fleshy or a pulpy fruit. देखा, observe किया है तुम लोगों ने? Same goes with some apples also, which are very crunchy. Yeah. So basically, as and when cell matures or as and when the fruit gets ripened, the middle lamella which was present over here, it gets degraded. It gets degraded, and that is the reason why from the crunchy texture, it moves on towards the fleshy texture or the pulpy texture. Okay, that's my point here. In fleshy fruit, during ripening, pectin is digested, making fruit softer. ठीक है जी, समझा इतना सबको? All right. I've explained you all the detailed structure of wall. Now I'll be talking about something which is pit. P-I-T, sorry. P-I-T, pit. So guys, हम लोग ने ड्रॉ किया था एक दो सेल्स इनफैक्ट. One second. And here comes another cell. ठीक है, और हम लोग ने एक सेटल किया था, डिपॉजिट किया था यहाँ पे. That is your secondary wall. And even in this cell, I'm showing all S1, S2, S3 together. अब सीन कैसा होता है ना चिल्ड्रन, दिस पर्टिकुलर सेकेंडरी वॉल इज नॉट विथ यूनिफॉर्म थिकनेस एवरीवेयर. कहीं पे ज्यादा, कहीं पे कम, कहीं पे एब्सेंट, ऐसा कंडीशन तुम लोग को दिख सकता है. You can very well find it. So wherever you don't have the secondary wall being laid, that region is said to be pit. आई बात समझ में? पिट क्या है? Cell wall is not uniform in thickness. At certain regions, secondary wall is not laid. This is called pit. अच्छा, गौर से देखिएगा अभी. Can you see that there are two pit present सामने सामने, two different cells का? This is what is said to be pit pair. So I'll mention it over here, but before that, हाँ जी, I was saying pits of adjacent cell lie opposite to each other. This is what is called pit pair. In our diagram, I'm mentioning here pit pair. ठीक है, अभी ये पिट पेयर प्रेजेंट है, लेकिन ये पिट पेयर के थ्रू होना क्या है? So guys, there is one more thing called plasmodesmata. Plasmodesmata is cell to cell bridge और cytoplasm to cytoplasm bridge. So यहाँ पे जो तुम लोग का पिट पेयर प्रेजेंट था, ये रीजन में एज इन व्हेन सेल मैच्योर होएगा, तुम लोग को पता है दैट प्राइमरी वॉल डिमिनिश हो जाएगा, सेकेंडरी वॉल वो जगह पे एब्सेंट है, इसके लिए तो वो पिट पेयर बना के बैठा है. तो देयर वुड बी अ ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर गेटिंग पास्ट connecting both the cytoplasms, and this tube like structure has a covering made up of plasma membrane. So the white structure which I have drawn here, the white structure is your plasma membrane. The blue structure that I have drawn inside, that is called desmotubule. Together this forms your plasmodesmata. What is plasmodesmata? Plasmodesmata is cell to cell connection. So the description here, it forms living component of cell, cell wall. Secondly, cytoplasmic strands are present in pit pair connecting two cells. ठीक है? This is what is plasmodesmata. Seriously, Ria? इतनी देर से मैं बोल रही हूँ, you don't understand that these are the cells which I'm talking about? Shall I proceed towards the next slide? I'll be talking about cytoplasm here. Children, cytoplasm has been further divided into two components. One that is called cytosol, and the second one that is called cell organelle. Children, cytosol, the matrix, the exact matrix जिसके ऊपर सारा का सारा chemical reaction वगैरह सब कुछ होने वाला है. That is what is your cytosol. It is the matrix of your cell. Cell organelles as in you have something called endomembrane system. I know you all have not heard of endomembrane system, children. It includes endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, lysosomes, vacuole. ये सब कुछ it's going to contain. Then we have mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Then we have plastid. For example, chloroplast is a plastid. We have ribosomes. We have centrioles. Cytoskeleton, the one which is going to support your cell, that is called cytoskeleton. Locomotory structure and attachment structure like cilia, locomotory structure like flagella, which is present, and not to forget the most important part, that is nucleus. All of them lie inside your cytoplasm. अच्छा, what is protoplasm? Okay, so बेटा यहाँ पे एक doubt है, protoplasm क्या होता है? Let's assume that this is a cell. Inside the cell, you have your cytoplasm present here. This is the cytoplasmic content. The white structure that I've drawn here is the plasma membrane. And this is your cytoplasm. Together, both of them are called protoplasm. मतलब basically wall absent है. Plasma membrane present है और cytoplasm present है. समझा? Yes, children? Okay. So guys, from the next lecture, we'll start with the endomembrane system and stuff. I would want you all to take the screenshots. We did this mutation wala part on slide number 48 of the previous chapter. Cell, the unit of life. Disha, you can study plant growth and development, transporting plants, mineral nutrition. No, Moksh, I'll send it. I'll send genetics and photo both. Moksh, that is the only book that you're supposed to refer. All right. Bye, guys. See you all in the next lecture. Please ensure that you read and come in case you have doubts. We'll tackle those in the first 10 minutes of the lecture. Bye, bye.